MK and I am back with another Baby Got Scraps pocket page for you guys today. And this one is a pocket page by Becky Higgins, and it also has a flip flap to it. Now this is, I have to tell you guys, we call it Harrison Pass, but it is actually not called that, which is weird. But I want to show you guys the supplies that I'm going to be using really quickly before I get into all of that. I have all of these, I don't know, scraps, wood grain scraps, camo scraps, branding strip scraps, things like that. And then I pulled out this 49 and Market little scrap because I have an extra pocket. I also have this baggie full of outdoor scraps, which I've brought in before, so I'm not really going to go through it, but I am going to take what I want out of it. And then I thought that I could make a at least one side out of this camo and wood grain. I really like the combination. Now, to include in this bag of scraps that I have, or bag of collective leftovers, I pulled out several clocks and things. I really wanted this to be a layout about time, about moments in time, things like that. And then I have this Heidi Swap piece that is just the word adventure. It's actually a mink piece, but I plan on using it just the way it is. I have a couple I'm trying to think of the names, you guys. I have Kaiser Craft pieces. I have Prima pieces. I have more Kaiser Craft pieces. I have leftover pieces from, well, some of these are from Close to My Heart, but I don't plan on using all of these little stickers. I have this little cute baggie that is, I was gifted a bunch of steampunk embellishments by Ginger, who is Ginger's Corner over here on YouTube. And that little baggie is all that I have left. And so I am super stoked to put some of these on this layout because they really go with this layout. I have old Close to My Heart images that I stamped a million years ago. And then, of course, this sticker book that is just never ending. It's one of these days I will just call it good and pass it on to somebody else that might be able to use the leftovers of it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out these two big wood grain pieces because I feel like they're the closest match for scraps without pulling out another wood grain piece that's 12 by 12, because I thought about it and I was like, if I pull out a 12 by 12 now, I'm going to have more scraps because I can't use the full 12 by 12. So that's annoying. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to figure out how much of this camo can I save, because I really want to put more camo over on the wood grain scraps that I just pulled out of that baggie. However, I misjudge and I cut too much off. Good thing I have scraps, right? So it's actually quite perfect, exactly the way it is. But when I measure it to a T, there's a teeny tiny little gap, like a 1/16 of an inch gap, where I don't really want it, which is fine. This branding strip will cover it up and I will be golden. In fact, you guys probably can't even see the gap on camera, but it's okay. I thought that I was going to be able to pull up that branding strip because, like I said, it's slightly off, but I'm good, you guys. I don't even sweat about it. So instead of making this a full background on one side, I decided that this is going to be my 6x4 pockets. So I'm going to glue these pieces together just as I am doing now, and be able to, what's it called? Sorry, I got an eyeball itch. This is real life, you guys. So I'm going to glue all these pieces together and then cut them down to the 4x6s that I need. I do chop all this up quite a bit. This video gets quite choppy because I feel like it's the same process. I glue my scraps together to create the pocket size that I need. Oh, there's that gap. You can really see it now that I've glued all the pieces together. But to be honest, when I glue I interrupted myself. Did you see that? When I glue the camo pieces together, I didn't realize that the only thing holding this 4x6 piece together is this branding strip. And the wood grain at the top is actually thicker paper than the camo, and I didn't really like how bendy it was. And to be honest, this pocket is not going to be supported by a photo. So I do end up fixing that later. I just don't know exactly how to just yet, or maybe I already did. But I end up taking some washi tape and putting it underneath. Oh, here it is. I do bring out some washi tape, and I bring out some black washi tape because there is a little bit of black in this camo print. This camo print is from Authentique, and it was a hunting collection. I used it for my husband taking the boys practicing shooting their rifles. I use it for the practicing our bow and arrows. I actually haven't used it for hunting, which is weird because that's what it's for. But I just really have a lot of photos of us practicing with our weapons. Sorry, it's a horrible word, but that's what they are. And not really the actual art of hunting, because of the fact that I really like doing mixed media for hunting. I'm not really sure. It's really weird, in all honesty. But I love the colors in this camo. I wish I had like 30 more pieces of just this camo, but Authentique doesn't sell their pieces individually. They only sell them in kits, and I definitely didn't need the other papers that many times. So, I just play with what I have and hope I come across another camo print later, and I hope that it's not a digi print. I'm not impressed with the digi prints. I really wish I could speak to the military and ask them about that, but it is what it is. I just wish that more companies would print off more camo. But off that pedestal, I am going to ink the edges of all of these papers and put them all together. I think I cut this part out because, again, I feel like it's redundant that I keep doing that. So I trimmed my photos, inked my edges, and voila, it's all put together. The process was just cut in half because of the fact that I've been doing this all month long. I feel like I've done the process and you guys have grasped the concept of the process. So what I have here is I've got a Becky Higgins. I believe it's a design G. She no longer makes this design, so they're very hard to find. I usually find mine on Amazon, and the last time I used this, I did put a link down below of where to find it, but it's really hard to find, you guys. Just search up Becky Higgins Design G, and this is the design that comes up. If there's any more out there in the world, you'll come across it. But I honestly don't think I can put a link in there for you guys anymore. But I did in a previous video earlier this month. So anyways, the title that I'm going to go for is Seek Adventure. And the reason why I did is because we went to this mining camp, and we've always called it Harrison Pass. Well, because that's the road that it is on. And if you are looking for this, you will see this mining camp, this abandoned mining camp, just by seeing rusty old cars on the side of the road. Now, the cars are obvious. You have to walk down to go find the camp. It's not like the camp is visible. You actually have to walk down. It's a good walk. It's a good, I can't say it's steep. I don't know the exact grade of the walk, but it is pretty cool, you guys. And I have to tell you guys that this mining camp is actually called the Star Tungsten Mine, and I did not know that. I have scrapbooked these photos over and over again because we visit it quite often. We love to take our friends to go check it out and things like that. I don't actually go into these buildings. These are photos zoomed in, taken from afar. To be honest, I don't go into the buildings that are there. I already said that twice now. But I do zoom in. I go into the windows that are all broken out now, and I zoom in to get these photos, to be honest. But the tungsten mine, actually, mining was actually discovered in the Harrison Pass back in January of 1897. So I think it's kind of poetic that I am doing these layouts or finishing these layouts in January of 2023. Just because it's January, right? I'm weird like that. But they were very short-lived and abandoned quickly, very much so, back there because of the fact of the remote locations. So lots of people came into Nevada assuming that because there was gold somewhere or silver or copper or anything, that it was going to boom, right? Just like just like Bodie or any of the other mines that are still in existence today. But it's not so very much because it's location. A lot of people get snowed out. A lot of people get, to where they can't get supplies, and so they have to abandon the project. Over and over again, you see all of this. There's tons of mines all over Nevada and probably in your area too, because a lot of people thought that, oh my gosh, I discovered a vein or I discovered something and boom, it's going to happen. Well, if you can't get supplies or if you have no access because of the, what's it called? Please help. Because of the weather, then you definitely don't have a boom. You just don't. It's inconceivable, to be honest. So anyways, this one here was abandoned for years and years and years. But back in 1916, a gentleman named Russell Campbell undiscovered, he rediscovered, not undiscovered, oh my god, he rediscovered this deposit in Harrison Pass. And despite its renewed interest in this area, there was still no production, none whatsoever. But Campbell persisted. He definitely pushed the limits and did all of this stuff to try and get this mine back in production. And eventually, back in 1929, he discovered tungsten. Tungsten became a new hardened metal that we use even today. People wear it in rings, to be honest, wedding rings and whatnot, because it does not fade. It doesn't do anything over time. It is a nice hardened metal. So by 1940, 5 mines in this area were being developed, which include this Star tungsten mine. All the miners shared these mining camps throughout, and the mine is actually it is over 100 acres spread out throughout this valley. However, in 1943, a fire destroyed most of the mining buildings. And so they tried to rebuild it in 44, and it just never took. It takes so long to build up all of these mines that it's hard to recover from a fire because of the time frame. And then all of your workers found new jobs. All of your equipment found new homes, things like that. It is hard to recover from a fire back in the day. So it just never took. And that's why it is in the way that it is, because everybody left everything in hopes to come back. And, even though it took only a year to rebuild, it still was a year too long. People had to go find jobs. They had to go to new homes and things like that. So, but the tungsten production brought in 15,000 units. And back in that day, that is unheard of. Back in the day. And so it definitely brought money. It definitely provided a lifestyle for people. But like I said, fires are what kill off most of these smaller mines, because people need to keep working. So anyways, I just thought that I would share that. That is the history lesson for today. While I enjoyed very much so using up all of the little bits and pieces that Ginger sent me from all of those creative people. You guys, I wish I did a better job of actually recording what it was that came from everybody, but I used the major pieces, and with all these little leftovers, they got mixed up and I forgot who sent me what. So I apologize about that. But I love mix matching all of these little supplies, my Prima stuff, my KaiserCraft stuff, my personally made stuff. I just love mixing it all up. I even had a little thing from Stamperia, but that didn't make it on the page. So anyways, thanks so much for listening to me. I really, truly appreciate it. You guys, I just enjoy having you guys stop by and taking a moment out of your time to hear my stories or even just watch the process. I really do enjoy knowing that you guys are out there. I really, really do. So be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with their scraps today. I am having a blast. I have to say I have a lot of scraps left over. This project usually uses up my scraps, but I don't know if this was if this was a successful month for me, you guys, because I still have a lot of scraps. So anyways, I'm not really sure what is going to happen, but it's not over yet. So we will see what is going to happen, and I will check y'all later. Bye.